What's up, fam? And welcome back again to Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, and this is the podcast where we talk about Black entertainment news, Black media, TV, radio, whatever it is that we want to talk about here. And we have a good time doing it. As your host, I'm always happy to have great conversations with great people, and I cannot have those conversations without my second in command, my partner in crime, Mari Forth. Mari, welcome back.
Chappell! I'm so glad to
Hey.
be back. Every week we get to do whatever we want to do. It's so fun over here. It's so fun being in a little bubble over here, pretending
Yeah.
nothing catastrophic is going on right now.
Right. Yeah. So the world is burning literally and figuratively,
Literally
and we're just
burning
over
and
here.
freezing.
Right. At the same damn time. It's crazy. But we're here talking about TV and trying to cheer everybody up in a dark time. But this is going to be an interesting time to try to cheer somebody up with the content that we're having today because I don't know if y'all saw the title, but we are going to be talking about a conversation that is long in the making here at Recap Kickback. Diddy. Peacock has released their documentary Diddy, the making of a bad boy. It's out. It's one of many Diddy exposés that are happening right now because everybody's trying to take this man down. And so in order to talk about Diddy, the making of a bad boy, we had to reach out to a lawyer because it's about to get real. AJ Norris.
There's something here.
Yeah, AJ Norris, welcome back, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, y'all. I'm happy to be back. Can't think of a better way to start than talking to the best in the game to be doing it right now. Like full stop. And like double on the freezing part, because like let me tell you something. I'm from the South, y'all. The South.
Yeah.
Why is it in Atlanta like snowing? It's sticking. This is not okay.
It is. It's ridiculous.
They shut down the city, baby. For what?
Look, the devil is working right now. Okay, the devil
I
is
need him to
working.
go away.
Yeah, well, we know he's in jail. I'm joking. Look, we'll get to Diddy in just a moment. But yeah, thank you so much, AJ, for joining us to talk about this. AJ, how have you been since we last talked? Are you a lawyer yet? For real, because we might need some documents drawn up.
I am not yet a lawyer, but I got connections now. So you know.
Yeah,
there you go.
Look, I feel a lot safer with AJ on the case.
Me too.
Like, listen, I love to Google. I love to hee hee ha ha. As soon as I get that JD, y'all screwed. Listen, man, baby, the world is not ready for me.
Yes, I love it.
Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I'm gonna be like, my lawyer said this. My lawyer said that. Yeah, already. So Mari, we got to talk about Diddy, but also we got to talk about the entertainment news of the week. Normally it'd be the Black entertainment news, but I think this is pretty much a big enough issue that we all got to talk about. Something catastrophic happened. Beyonce pushed back her big news, and
I know.
Wow.
Just horrible. Thoughts and prayers to everybody, to the Beehive. It's 114. 2025 at the end of the Beyonce Bowl, which we didn't get to talk about. You know, it's okay. I'm not going to rehash how amazing, tremendous, brilliant, stunning that performance was and how I've watched it way too many times since Christmas. But, you know, at the end of the Beyonce Bowl, if you went to her Instagram, she had posted like a nice cute little video and it just said 1/14/2025. So we've all been waiting for pins and needles. 1/14/2025. What's gonna happen? Is it another tour? Is she dropping? Well, 1/14/2025 is here, and Beyonce, the philanthropist that you are, she decided to push the announcement back due to the wildfires that are currently happening in LA. So the Pacific Palisade fires have been going on like for almost a week now out there. You know, we're really, sending legit prayers to everybody out there who's dealing with that. People who are losing their houses, people who just are losing electricity, who don't know where to go, who are evacuated, who are sitting there waiting to find out if they need to be evacuated. You know, our hearts are with everybody out there. But I think Beyonce did a pretty wise move here, just postponing the announcement. But I will say, now that she's postponed it, now I'm like, okay, I don't think it's a tour. I was really hoping it was another tour announcement. I don't think it's a tour announcement. At most, at like best case scenario, I think it was going to be an album. and she posted about album. Somebody said worst case scenario, she was just gonna demo a new conditioner.
Yeah.
That would have been bad.
She gonna do whatever it takes to take y'all money, because that lady loves her fans, but she love y'all money more. AJ, were you waiting on the Beyonce announcement too?
So I personally was not. I'm a Beyonce fan. She killed it on Christmas. I was with my family on Christmas watching it. I have too many people in my life that are beehives. And my sister's one of them. She said after it, she was like, oh gosh, January 14th, I'm about to be behind on rent again. And I'm like, and I'm like, ma'am, don't do it. Don't do it. So
I love that.
But she was ready for a tour, but she was hoping for visuals. That's what she wanted it to be.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Anything would have been great. Now I hope she's just super, super petty and drops or announces whatever it is during the inauguration.
Oh, that would be nice.
Ooh, that would be nice. I would like that.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had not thought about what Beyonce was gonna announce. You know, like it's one of those things where you gonna hear about it. How can you miss it? Because the world gonna explode for just like 5 seconds, and then everybody's gonna come back to realization, and then everybody's just gonna start spending money very quickly. So you know, there's always like a cultural shift whenever Beyonce announces a tour or an album. And so I figured it was gonna be a tour because once again, that lady really, really likes taking money from people. Like she really wanted to keep y'all broke. But I imagine she was gonna wait until after tax. You know, y'all get y'all taxes so she can get a good grasp on that very quickly. Right when y'all get that return, that's when she gonna snatch it and be like, all right, the tour is coming, the Cowboy Carter tour. But I personally, if I have to put my finger on what I would like, I need whatever this next rollout is of this Act 3. I need that. I need to see what it's going to be. So I've seen so much speculation. People were talking about it's rock and roll. People were talking about maybe like something else. Like I'm like, all right, cool. I could do the rock album because that's the one I'm most concerned about. I think that Beyonce has rock songs, but they're not my favorite Beyonce songs. Like I think we've already had my favorite Beyonce songs already. And I even think the Cowboy Carter, I really enjoyed it. But Beyonce, I like Don't Hurt Yourself.
Yeah, Don't Hurt Yourself is good.
Yeah. Ring the Alarm? Question mark.
Is that a rock song?
That's what I'm saying. I don't really know if Beyonce rock bag is so
it's high energy. And
Right. And she did like the Alanis Morissette, You Ought to Know on tour. I've seen the clips. So she does that. We've seen her do rock, but I just don't know if I've seen enough to where I'm like super, I'm ready for it, but I'm excited to see what it's going to sound like. You know what I'm saying, Mari?
Yeah. I think it'll be like a rock blues type fusion. If I had to guess, maybe a rock jazz fusion. If anybody is to be believed, the Dream, the producer, singer, he tweeted and deleted a tweet saying like, Tina Turner is one of the greatest. I've been tasked with carrying on her legacy, hashtag rock and roll. And everybody knows that the Dream is a contributor. He's been on every Beyonce album since B-Day. So and he constantly has my favorite songs on each of her albums. So everybody thought that he was, and he tweeted that on the 12th, like 2 days before the announcement was supposed to happen. People were like, you couldn't even keep your mouth shut for like 2 days. But after he deleted it, he put another tweet out like, oh, sis will tell you I ain't got nothing to do with that. Like whatever. But if she does, and if Dream is to be believed or whatever, it's going to be like a Tina Turner inspired rock. So kind of like a Yaya on Cowboy Carter, I would assume.
Okay.
I think Yaya was fun on Cowboy Carter. But I think it would be funny if she just drops a rap album. That's what I want. I think she should do it.
Queen of rap.
She got bars. I heard ape shit. Yeah. She got bars. You know.
I heard Top Off. Like she did her thing.
Right. Can you pay my auto bills? You know, that was clever. You know. So yeah, we have yet to see what's going to happen with Beyonce, but you know, it's going to happen. And when it does, it's going to take the world by storm and everybody's going to go crazy for a while. And then Mari will have to come on here on this podcast and tell us why it's so great. I'm sure the think pieces will be written. People are already investigating, trying to get to the bottom of this. And I think it's part of the whole mystique of Beyonce. You know, Mari and I have both been on record that we are huge Michael Jackson fans and that nobody is touching Michael. But I think Beyonce has her own specific lane here where, you know, you just don't get this type of energy from most artists these days when it comes to releases. So I'm excited.
I agree.
Yeah. Other recap kickback news. We had our Abbott Elementary crossover with the Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode. And I don't know if y'all been keeping up with Abbott, but the way Quinta Brunson just does the things, you know, she's just so good. So I just wanted to let everybody know to check out that podcast. Gia and I talked about Abbott Elementary with the Crying Laughing podcast on last week. And so that podcast should be up. Check it out. We did a crossover with them, part 1. And then crossover part 2, we'll go on their show and talk about the premiere of It's Always Sunny, because I believe that's the second half of the Abbott crossover as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes. So I believe the theory is that part 1 is from Abbott's point of view, and it's very mockumentary style, right? So it's like the multicam, da-da-da-da. Well, It's Always Sunny isn't filmed like that. So you're going to get a more like 360 view of what's happening. You know, you're going to get the wide shots where instead of seeing this from like the camera panning from person to person, you'll get to see what everybody's doing at all times, and you'll see it from the It's Always Sunny perspective. So yeah. And
when is that?
I believe it's in March. I believe their 20-something season is coming in March. Yeah, so it's a little bit away.
I don't want to have to wait that long.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna just binge watch It's Always Sunny. I've never seen it before. AJ, have you seen it?
Well, you've never. Here's my thing. I've never seen it either. But but on TikTok circulating is Miss Quinta Brunson saying, "Yo, black folks, don't watch it."
It's so funny. Like James used to watch it, and so when we first started dating, we watched it. Nothing else, just because you don't have to watch it sequentially, but just go watch the Atlantic City episode of It's Always Sunny. That'll tell you immediately if you'll like the show. Just go watch the Atlantic City episode. It is literally my favorite episode in the whole entire series. It is hilarious to me.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I did see what the first episode of Abbott Elementary, It's Always Sunny is called. AJ, would you like to guess what the first episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is called?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, I don't know. Probably something racist. Like, the black people taking over.
Well, AJ, you were close. It's called The Gang Gets Racist. Yeah. So if you were thinking about tuning in, I think that it did pique my interest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of want to see what happened. So
it's very funny. The first episode is really funny.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out. Our podcast is already up, but then, of course, tune into the Crying Laughing podcast with Dr. Amanda and Ariel to make sure you support the podcast that supports us. Then this week, we also have Tyrone and I talked about the premiere of The Madness. That should be up on our YouTube channel as well. We got a lot of recap kickback content this week, Mari. And I guess we needed to have something a little bit lighter because we got to talk about Diddy. We have to talk about Diddy and the making of a bad boy. I feel like I'm I've said this before, uniquely equipped to talk about this because for some reason, maybe around middle school, I started to say, hey, y'all keep saying these weird things about this guy, but everybody keeps ignoring it. Why do we keep ignoring all the stuff that y'all are saying? And then I got invested in Diddy's journey as an artist because, like, sure, he was on the radio, but when he started being a television star, that's my lane, you know, making the band. So I watched Making the Band, I watched the next Making the Band, and the next Making the Band, and then the next Making the Band, and I was there for all of that. And so I'm maturing, and I'm watching, and I'm seeing all these Diddy artists just kind of come and go. Total. And Mace, and Craig Mack, and Shine, and I'll be sure, like, you name it, like Biggie Smalls, you name it, they're just disappearing.
112.
Oof, yeah, 112. Look, the list is long, and so again, took interest into this a long time ago. I've been saying whatever they said he did, he probably did it. But in recent years, it's been coming out like a lot more people are speaking out now that he is in jail. And so Peacock took this opportunity to make a documentary about Diddy and his potential crimes against humanity. And so we're going to talk about that right when we come out from this break. All right, we're back. Took a brief break, but we got to get into it. AJ,
hit me.
You're literally a baby, okay? You weren't around for a lot of this stuff. You watched this documentary.
Yes.
I just want to hear, what is your knee-jerk reaction? What do you think as somebody who wasn't really around for it, but probably heard about a lot of the stuff that was going on?
So I think it's interesting because I was never the biggest Diddy fan. Like I liked a couple of his songs here and there, but for the most part, I didn't care about it. And then I think I was hearing like, oh yeah, he don't even write his own rap. So I was like, why do I care about this rapper if he ain't even doing his own thing? Like, who cares? And then I think a couple years back they did the like it was like a tribute to Diddy or something like that on like a award show, like the VMAs. And I was like, wait a minute, it's only him, Keisha Cole, and Young Miami. What did this guy do to be around for so long? And that's all the people that showed out for him.
So I mean, good point. Good point.
Yeah. So I was like, this guy's red flags, and then the stuff started coming out. I was like, oh. It just kept getting worse and worse. I was like, oh my gosh, who was this guy? Why was he so heinous? Why y'all give him so much money? Like, not everyone can have money like that.
Yeah. AJ, I would say we learned very quickly that these people they never should have gave this nigga money. Like, we like find out that this is a very damaged individual from birth.
Yeah.
I'm going to be about 50 with you real quick. I was scared at the start of this documentary because I was like, are they about to make me sympathize with this man? Are they about to try to? I was like, wait, because I'm not here for this. Like, listen, a monster's a monster, full stop. But then it was like, they kept going outside. Okay, they're not sympathizing with him. They're just showing some like, how could someone like this become? I still don't know how someone like this could become, but they tried.
They tried.
I definitely have thoughts on that.
Okay.
Well, Mari, you being our true crime expert, I knew this was going to be a Diddy expose. But it really is giving true crime documentary, like this is, this is way more than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. So shameless plug. If you want to hear me break down true crime documentaries and how they're produced, go over to the Crime Scene Pod to listen to me and Sarah Carradine do that. Crimescenepod.com. Yes. That's crime, SEEN pod.com. And so, of course, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking of it in my Crime Scene Pod thoughts. Sarah did bring up seeing if we wanted to cover this over there, but I was like, no, let's wait for the 50 Cent one because that's probably going to be much better. And then we decided to do it over here. So I told her, and hopefully you'll get her brief thoughts over on Crime Scene Pod. So like, there's a little crossover there. But anyways, because we won't do a whole, of course, I'm doing it here, so we're not going to do a whole thing on it. But I told her if she gets a chance to check it out, and she could do like a mini recommendation over there. Anyways,
Mari said I watched this one, and that's it.
Yes, it felt like they had no subjective point of view for this, in a sense. And we talk about this all the time on Crime Scene. So when it first starts off, you feel like they're about to be like, make you really sympathize with them. But then they also have this tone, like this Surviving R. Kelly tone, which Surviving R. Kelly is a great docuseries, word great. I don't know. That's doing a lot of heavy lifting in there, but it's a well-made documentary about everything that the victims of R. Kelly went through. So it felt like they were trying to give that tone, but they kept flip-flopping on the narrative of like, is Diddy a monster because of what happened to him? Or like they weren't fully asking the questions like, was it his upbringing? Was it like, I really felt like they did not have a point of view on this documentary, except for the only point of view I felt like they had was avoid the legal landmines. Like, let's just not over there, over here. Yeah, we can't say that. Let's go over here and grabbing people. Talking to people that were like, okay, we're talking to his childhood friend who grew up with him. Okay. But the last time he's seen him or talked to him in person was in 1999. I'm like, what is happening? So I have so many thoughts on this documentary. The good thing about it was an hour and 39 minutes. So we all didn't have to suffer through 3 episodes, but we did suffer through this hour and 39 minutes. Is this too soon? Incredibly, yes. This man just got arrested in September of 2024, and they have a documentary here in January 2025. They have exclusive footage. First off, the first exclusive footage they had, it was the same minute, just looped. They just kept looping the same minute and a half. Just looped.
It was exclusive. Leave them alone.
And then the second, like, kind of damaging exclusive footage they had, like in the Red Room, again, just a minute or two, but also the whole time I'm sitting there like, where'd you get it? Where did you get it from? And
that man said he'd be recording the shadowy figure with the distorted voice. He was recording that. Now, again, it's only 35 seconds in a Red Room of people just walking around in circles, but it's exclusive.
Because they was like, this is incriminating evidence. I was like, oh, okay, show me what's about to go down. Oh, he's standing there. Oh, but we got some other ones. Oh, he's on the phone. Okay.
He's in the booth.
He's in the booth. He be cussing.
What little footage that they had, they just kept replaying.
Look, I think that goes to show you how the lengths this man took to make sure people weren't recording him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is the best you can do for exclusive footage, that means this man is constantly saying, turn that camera off. And this is a person who loves the camera. He's always on TV, always. He's got a music video. His whole thing in the 90s was, he the producer, but he dancing in the videos. Sir, you're supposed to be in the back making beats and stuff like that. You're supposed to be promoting. Why are you on stage? And so for him to not have any footage like this, like the only thing we've got that's actually ever incriminated Diddy was that video of Cassie that we're going to talk about in just a while, right? So yeah, they definitely like really said this is exclusive footage, but it didn't really look like nothing. Like, it's like you're looking at it, it kind of solidifies that, there is a room and there is red. And so like it kind of corroborates the story a bit, but it doesn't actually incriminate him to me. But I kind of disagree with y'all about the point of view of the documentary. I thought it was very clearly trying to be like, his mama made him this way. Like his mom and his daddy made him this way. Yeah, because they talk about
psychologist she was doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah, very much so. She talked about the ACEs, and how like these damaging things can happen to you as a child, adverse childhood experiences. They have his childhood friend who basically saying like, bro, we was growing up around a lot of stuff. It was some nefarious stuff and get some gay stuff going on too. They tried to make it sound like it was all one and the same, like, ooh, and they was homosexuals. It's like, all right, look. No, there was pimps and crackheads around y'all and drug dealers around y'all, sexual deviants around y'all. That's why y'all were growing up kind of with a skewed version of like reality as far as like boundaries. I think the woman said
boundaries. Yeah,
exactly.
But also they grew up in the suburbs too. He kept every time they showed him claiming Harlem, I'm like, nigga, you not from Harlem?
Well, that's what Tim. What's his name? Tim. Tim said like, bro, I was from the hood. I moved to Diddy house. To be. He had jewelry as a 4-year-old. AJ.
Like, and I was like, I was dripping that young.
Yeah,
like, no, I saw this picture. I said, oh, he got a ring on. The devil's a lie. I still don't got a ring. What are you doing?
That was good.
Yeah. So to me, I felt like they were very clearly trying to be like this man is a product of this violent thing that happened with his dad. Apparently, his dad was like kind of working for some gangsters, and then when it sold some information to the cops, as a snitch, he got murdered, it seems. And then his mom was out here kind of having the freak offs before Diddy was even, having the freak offs.
Yeah.
But can I tell you what I really did not get? And maybe I was just being too oblivious. In the story of the making of a bad boy, right? We start off being like, oh yeah, he had these two parents. Well, his dad died when he was young, but he also was like not tough. He was known as a wimp. He would when he tried to join a gang, he ran away from the weapon. But then out of nowhere, now he's the bad guy. Like it just like took a switch, and I was like, okay, but if we're making, I want to see like the growth of it. Like, okay, this is how this happened. But instead, it was like, how could someone like this become this? And I felt like I didn't get the answer clearly.
Yeah, and they. No, I'm sorry, AJ. Keep going.
No, but I agree with you. Dr. West, she was doing a lot of like trying psychology and stuff like that. But she was talking more in general, and I was like,
She
yes,
was.
this is some stuff in general that like you can see at signs, but I still didn't get it from Diddy's point of view. Like, how did Diddy become Diddy?
Right.
Mhm.
And they threw in his time at Howard there for like all of 2 seconds because he was literally there for all of 2 seconds, but it just really did feel out of place. I think they only brought it up to introduce us to Ron Lawrence.
And Heavy
Another
D.
Okay, yeah, Heavy
Yeah.
T, yeah, Heavy D. But to bring up Ron Lawrence, who is here as a talking head, who is clearly still in Diddy's camp because he is really like defending him on a lot of stuff in this. But that was interesting, I guess, like learning about his childhood a little bit.
Yeah.
But can we? I don't know, Chappell, where you're going next, but
I wanted to talk about the timeline. I do. I want to talk about I want to talk about him getting jumped into the gang. So he does get jumped in, and he becomes a part of this gang that his bodyguard, Gene Deal, is a part of. Now, this gang, Gene Deal,
in '89, he gets jumped in.
Yeah, and Gene Deal is not lying. This man has been beating the Diddy drum for so long. I'm not saying he's not lying about the occurrences, but he is not lying about saying that he has been chirping about this for a very long time.
Yeah,
and people have been writing him off almost like a lot of people believe him, but a lot of people are like, okay, if there was any smoke, there would be fire, and we haven't found the fire yet, right? I think Cassie is the fire. I think from there now people are starting to backtrack and really go look deeper into these conversations. But he talks about how Diddy gets jumped in and he becomes Puff Daddy. And I think the reason why we don't really have the evolution to Puff Daddy is because Tim was gone. By the time Tim comes back for the military, he's like, hey, what's up? And Diddy's like, I'm Puffy now. You know what I'm saying? Take that. Yeah. It was a whole different vibe by the time he got here. And I did not know about the college deaths that happened.
City college. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they talk about this one event. I believe when was that? Like 90.
Oh, the City College event.
Yeah.
It was in
I want to say 91.
Yeah,
right?
I want to say something. Yeah.
Something like that. Sure. But we'll see. But we'll look it up. But at this point, Diddy is like working as an intern for Uptown Records. But as he's doing that, he's also a party promoter. And he decides to throw a celebrity charity basketball game for AIDS. I was like, that's altruistic. Featuring like Heavy D, I don't know, some other people. They said it, but LL Cool J, yeah. And it's supposed to be at the City College in New York. And he markets it all over the radios, everywhere, markets the hell out of it like you're supposed to do. You're a party promoter. They start selling tickets, but apparently, I mean, if you ask Diddy, he says they never oversold the tickets. But if you ask the family of the victims, they did.
Or my eyes. We saw the footage. We saw the footage.
That too. So they said City College could only fit 2,700 people in it. But they said there was about 2,700 people inside and about as many people on the outside trying to get in. Again, I'm assuming all the people there thought they were ticketed. And so once they couldn't get in anymore, they didn't have enough security. Security closed the doors to the venue. And of course, people started surging forward. And this set off a crush event. If you're not familiar with crush events happened when a group of people are in an area and pressure is applied because they're storming, they're mobbing, they can't get in, they can't get out of somewhere. It always happens like that. There's been numerous amount of like very famous crush events. The most recent one would be at the Travis Scott concert. We talked about over on Crime Scene, the one that happened in South Korea and for Halloween back in 2015. The Who's crush event in the 70s is very, very well known. I had no clue about this. And we had the family of 2 victims. 9 people died in this event. They're called the City College 9. 9 people died in an event that Diddy, like one of Diddy's first events that he's like thrown and all of that before he is even like really big. 9 people died, and he basically isn't held accountable for it. And this really had me because I felt so bad for those people.
Mhm.
No, like it was genuinely such a shell shock. Like
See, I'm shocked. I've never heard this.
I never even like listen, I've heard a lot about Diddy. Like this never came up not a single time. I'm like, this involves actual deaths. And the fact that they were like in litigation for years over this.
Yeah,
and we get 6 years over this. And all he goes to like homegirl's brother and be like, well, here's $50,000. So let's get this away. Like that, like she's worth more than $50,000. Like, first off, you screwed up. Like, let's call a spade a spade. You screwed up. You should not have oversold the tickets. I don't care if you said you didn't, you did. Like, all those people wouldn't be there if you didn't do it. And then homeboy over his friend was like, oh yeah, he was giving mouth to mouth to everyone that was there.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And homie G was like, Gene was like, he was nowhere to be seen. He was gone. He already left. The doors were closed and locked, and he was avoiding them. So it's like you caused like such trauma and pain, and yet we get no justice for this. Like nothing at all. Like the families, not even a memorial or anything in their honor. It's just like, okay, here's some money, go away.
Yeah, and he offered $50K. And he was worth about $40 million at the time. So it's like, first of all, this man is like 20-ish years old when this is happening, and he's already got millions of dollars. Okay. And so he's like, all right, I'll throw $50K at it and tell, my guy, all right, like, well, this is the best I could do. But we find out something that, is kind of a pattern, right? When he's talking to Sonny Williams about it, he does not apologize for this. He just tries to pay him off. And Sonny Williams also points out that his sister Sonia, rest in peace, was given the ticket by Diddy. Diddy personally invited this woman. It wasn't like she heard about it on the radio and just showed up. This is somebody that he knows personally enough to give her a ticket to this event. She was murdered in this event or was trampled in this event or whatever. And all he did was think, okay, well, can you take this $50K and make it go away? And of course, Sonny Williams does end up taking the money because he's starting a foundation in honor of his sister. So he could use the money, but for one, $50K ain't nothing compared to what Diddy could give, especially since he is at fault here. And an apology would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know what you did. You know you were complicit in this. And even in this is one of the rare occasions that we talk about in this documentary where the courts actually did find him guilty of something. The civil courts were like, nah, you and Heavy D are halfway responsible for this. And the city college is halfway responsible for it as well. Because normally we don't see anybody actually win anything against Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah. And even with that settlement, I believe Jay Swain, the brother of Sonia Swain, who Chappell was talking about, he won about $40,000.
Jason Swain's brother was the other one. So Sonia Williams was Sonny Williams.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you're right.
Sister. Yeah, and then Jason Swain's brother was the other one. But yeah, it was $40K. Yeah.
But here's like also the disgusting part about the Sonny situation. Like it wasn't like he went to his apartment or house and was like, hey, all I can do is $50K. He took him to his place where you can see his plaques. You can see he got money and he's flexing it in front of you. And while he has the freaking audacity to do that, be like, listen, $50K is all I can do. That's it. I can't, I'm so strapped. Like this event that caused damage to people's lives made him more famous. Like that was a wild thing in part two. Like his name is out there more. The news are talking about him. Now he's being photographed a lot now from this. He's gaining popularity from the deaths of others and is not remorseful. Did not say sorry. Just said, take the money for my old friend and keep moving.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's almost like Woodstock in a way, right? Like so the Woodstock that happened in the most recent Woodstock, so in the 2000s, that Woodstock was a catastrophe, but everybody talked about it, right? Everybody talked about it. And so it was like even though it was like a bad thing that happened, right? Like an awful event, it was still super popular. And so like it made the brand even more popular to people more recent age, right? Because like the original Woodstock back in the 60s, that had already come and gone. And so it's like, even though this was a catastrophic event, it's like, man, that was wild. And that's kind of a theme that we have with Diddy anyway. Like his parties are like, there's crazy stuff happening, but wow, it's a wild party. It's like, no, go back to the crazy stuff that happened. I really feel like we're glossing over it so fast, but it's because he's so rich. Mari, this man has money to just make stuff go away.
And he continually and this is a pattern. And this is why I said that to me, it felt like they were trying to get elements of Surviving R. Kelly, because he constantly would wriggle out of any kind of accountability from the law. And when that happens, people get emboldened and they do more and more and more. That's why we did get a little bit of footage from an all-white party. I think they they showed us when he first bought the house in the Hamptons, and it felt like they were alluding to like the first all-white party. We had pictures of different celebrities from the first one, and they had footage of him being like, "Oh, the kids got to go home at a certain point," and then this is when they started talking about the after parties and stuff like that. Yeah, it just shows you what money and power buys you, and it's normally freedom.
Yeah. One of the more outspoken people that we get in this documentary is I'll Be Sure.
My God.
Yeah, you want to talk about somebody who's got a good hate into Diddy? It's I'll Be Sure, and probably for a number of just amazing reasons.
Oh my God!
Hate that man.
When he popped up, I was like, hey! I was like, the legendary hater himself is here. He's clocked in.
Yeah, I like I'll Be Sure in here because you could tell like this hit very close to home for him. Obviously, the stuff with Kim Porter is crazy. Diddy basically seeing her being his friend's ex and being like, "Nah, I want her, and I'm gonna make sure I get her." And he does this big demonstration in front of everybody, just again flexing in a way. But it's so funny to me watching I'll Be Sure. He's such a I don't want to call him a gangster, but he's so gangster. You know, like the man is so player. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, I can't think how I feel about you now. I was like, there's no way this man sings that song. There's just no way. Night and day.
So legendary.
Man. And so he's one of the other many artists that have essentially been screwed over by Diddy. And his story is very sad because, Mari, it's the Kim Porter story.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sad. He's like, I first saw Kimberly. Well, he said her Antoinette Porter. He said her whole name. He was like, I fell in love with her. We had Quincy, and showing her, meeting her, having her meet Diddy was the worst thing ever. I'm like I'll Be Sure was talking about her. He's like still in love with this woman. He at one point in the documentary, and he got up and went to his shrine.
Yeah.
Of Kim Porter in his house. Just there, and I was just like, sir, like this is touching, this sucks for you, but how bad of a partner were you?
She went and found refuge with Diddy. You know, that's a good point. But, you know, also, once you get in bed with Diddy, it doesn't seem like you have the option to get out, AJ. Like, a lot of these people felt like they were trapped.
No, truly. And, well, first, one more thing about him first meeting her. What was it? Diddy said something like, "Oh, I wish I had a woman that looked as good as her," as his woman was right beside him.
Right there.
Like, what the?
My God.
I don't know.
Now, I can't judge him. As a proponent of, you know, never let your significant other stop you from meeting the love of your life. I think there's some truth there. Okay. But you're right, AJ. This is weird.
It is weird, but back to answer your question, like when they was like in the red flag, like Diddy and Kim were off and on for many years, and for Kim's they were off and on. For Diddy, they were always on. I was like, oh no, this is not a good relationship.
Not
like, sure, like Al might have been toxic, but like she did not know what she was getting into with that man. Like I don't think anyone did. Well, at some point you had to, but like for a while, it's like at that point in time, you did not know what you were getting in with that man, and he was like so controlling over everything. Like the fact that he was Kim even warned him to stay away for his safety, Al, like that's a scary situation to be in, like where your son is in the situation, you're in the situation, and you don't know how to escape that. Like my heart goes out to Kim 100%, especially with her tragic passing at such a young age.
Yeah. Pneumonia, Mari, took out this woman at 40-ish years old. So young, and it sounds like, you know, that could happen. You know, I'm not a health professional, but you know, people could die from pneumonia, comma but.
People.
Yeah, but comma but. So a lot of people dying from like mysterious causes around Diddy. A couple of heart attacks. It's like his closest circle. They were talking about Uptown Records and how it was 5 people who worked at Uptown. Heavy D, heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. We saw Kim Porter, pneumonia. And then we see Al B. Sure on his deathbed several times. I think he said he ended up in the hospital for mysterious reasons. And this most recent time is what really feels like this was the one, Mari, that kind of militarized him because he's like, nah, I know who was in the room. I know who did it, and I'm coming for you.
Yeah, it was very mysterious.
Yeah. You're like, I know you're watching this. I was like, oh my God, who is he talking
I was on my couch. I was like, thank gosh I wasn't one of them. Like, good
I know.
Oh.
You at?
It was like he knew who came and gave him the kiss of death and all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm as a medical professional. The fact that we now know that she died of lobular pneumonia. When she first died, it was all like, oh my God, we don't know what it was. Maybe it was a heart attack. It was natural causes. We don't know. Because, of course, like autopsies and actual death investigations take several weeks normally. But when a celebrity or somebody dies, people want to know right then and there what was the cause of it. You know what I'm saying? But it normally takes a while to kind of work up. The fact that they're saying that she died of lobar pneumonia, like makes a lot of sense to me, and especially if it's not treated, like it's not something that it has a high mortality rate, but if you don't know you have it, or if you have a strain of it where like if it's streptococcal pneumonia that's like might be resistant to antibiotics, that could be really bad as well. And it's a type of pneumonia that takes over the whole lobe of your lung, like so it makes it very hard to breathe. When was this? So because
2018.
It was October. I remember. Look, I got it written down because I'll be sure remembers the date to the day. He says October 30th, 2018 was his last encounter with Kim. He saw her as he was getting ready for the BET Awards, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, this happened to her. So I'm again, Mari, you're the medical professional. Do you think that will be enough time for something like this to develop and then kill someone?
Well, yeah. Well, people have walking pneumonia all the time. There's actually an epidemic of walking pneumonia going on right now that a lot of people don't know about. Because again, it could be something you can pass, or like it will not pass, because if it's pneumonia and it's bacterial, you really do need antibiotics to get rid of it, to get rid of it like safely and effectively and all of that. But the problem is, again, some people push through stuff, and especially Black people. You know what I'm saying? We don't go to the doctor until we need to go to the doctor. So I can't remember how her cause of death was reported. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they found her like I don't remember. I don't remember, but I don't believe she died in a hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like she was in the hospital fighting and then she died. Like, I think she like suddenly kind of like died one day. So, again, she was probably trying to deal with this and her body just couldn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I love a good conspiracy theory as anybody else, but Black people dying of heart disease is not... It's not, to me, that's not that mysterious.
Like, Mari being the medical expert, like, in the court of law, this does not hold up. Like, even with all the other people that are dying around Diddy in these interesting ways, circumstantial, does not hold up in the court of law. But I like homegirl, who was like the civil rights lawyer, that was like, but something smells fishy. Like, and I'm
right. Damn it, I'm with them. Okay, I'm with them. I'm like, are y'all sure? So okay, comma but. Later on, we will hear about a very chilling tale about a woman who is potentially being sex trafficked by Diddy, and she is raped and sexually assaulted multiple times, gang raped as well, with a remote control while Diddy is right there like a creep. And the police are called. The sheriff's office files a police report. and says that there was no harm done. There was no foul play found, and yet we cannot get access to this police report. So if he wanted this to look a certain way, based on that information alone, if Diddy had anything to do with that, I just say that, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he could make a coroner's report look however he wanted at that point, AJ. What do you think?
I think Diddy has shown to be a powerful person and has been able to get away with a lot. And I think, I personally think, even with that disturbing section of the documentary, I personally feel, right? You don't just accuse someone of you causing harm to your ex-wife or something like that. That's not you don't just get accused of that unless there is something there, unless there's some underground foundation that's lying that's like, okay, this person is capable of doing something like that horrific. So and I'm full stop. I'm willing to personally believe that this was a natural cause that of how Kim died, and it just so happened to be around Diddy. And I think personally, for me, one of the things I didn't care about is they did not touch her son, like how this was impacting him, like how all the circulation about his mom's death and the accusation of Diddy, who quote unquote adopted him, but he still got Al's last name.
Still got Al Bashir's name. Yeah.
Well, Quincy himself, real Team Diddy. So
yeah, I mean, we got the little title cards popping up, the captions, and it did say his children have all said that there's no foul play. Like that's one thing that the documentary is doing that's interesting. We will see people making these accusations, AJ, and then later we will see the caption come up and be like, there was no evidence of this. There's no foul that was found. The children do not agree. There is no book. It's like it is like it throws you off because you're kind of thinking, well, damn, did he pay everybody off? Are they all afraid? Because people are speaking up, but only now that he's in jail. You know what I'm saying? Aside from Cassie, we have not heard any of these people go on record. There have been some civil cases, a lot of them apparently, but this is the most public I've ever heard anybody speak out against Diddy consistently, AJ.
Well, I think even when you look back at the start of the Me Too movement with Bill Cosby and them, it's like you can be the lone voice, but if you're the lone voice against a powerful figure, that's terrifying and they can wreck you, even if you're telling the truth. So going up against someone like Diddy, I can understand how terrifying that is, especially if you don't feel like you have the power to do anything. So that's why you see a lot of people that's like, I got in and I got out when I could. Instead of being like, I try to fight it and change it. When I think people who had more power than the actual victims of Diddy should have spoke out more and should have put the end to this a lot sooner than it was. But I can understand why people are waiting until now to feel more comfortable. Now that there's a chorus of people going on, they're like, okay, I was also a victim. Now that he's being looked at in the light of the public or behind bars, now I feel comfortable because I might be in danger, might have been in danger, but I don't feel as in danger as I do now. But let's not get it twisted. Even in this documentary, there was a woman who had her face blacked out because she still feared for her life. There was a guy who said, I don't want to go on the record, but I will tell y'all this because he still feared for his life. And these fears don't come from nothing. You don't isolate yourself from 16 years just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a great point. I mean, we didn't even talk about Tim. I mean, he lives in the woods, Mari. His man is, and he hides his accolades in a trap door in the bathroom.
Right. That was crazy, right? It once we saw his platinum packs, it was like Tim Dog. I was like, wait, that name actually sounds familiar. I was so people are really afraid of Diddy, and clearly there's some truth to it because in this documentary, I'm pretty sure we'll talk about a lot of the things they didn't talk about, but we didn't get to the Kid Cudi car explosion or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Leslie, we didn't mention Shy, we didn't mention Red Cafe, we didn't mention look, don't make me go down the list again because I gotta memorize. We really didn't even talk about Danny Kane. We just talked about Don.
No, we just talked about Don. Exactly. So it's and then we have one of his victims here, Ashley, who's keeping her identity a secret because again, she's afraid of him as well. So there's smoke, there's fire. There's no doubt that, and AJ says it, but I think the problem is you also get the nuts that jump on this, looking at you, Jaguar, right, and your 10-second cameo in here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah,
woman.
yeah, they be muddy in the case, y'all. That's what that really what it
Yeah.
come down to. Like you want to believe people, and then it's like when one of your loudest accusers is like making wild accusations about everything. It's kind of like, okay, well, they're like, easy to discredit that person, right? And so, but I do feel like
it's damaging because it's not just that it's easy to discredit them; they discredit everyone else. Like
Yes.
them wanting to be out there and wild. Like it's like even though there's truth to it, people are like, this person's being hyperbolic and may be lying. Why wouldn't you be hyperbolic or lying?
Right.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. One of the other moments I thought was kind of it was kind of chilling. There were a few moments like Ashley telling her story was very much. I was kind of very uncomfortable hearing about that. That was definitely dark for anybody who is suffering or has been through domestic violence. Of course, you can call the hotline 1-800-799-7233. You know, so just saying if you're in an abusive relationship, you can get help. It's 24-hour hotline. They put the title card up and everything like that. But we also get Sarah from the band, Mari, and she is like. Yeah, you can tell she's uncomfortable telling her story even today.
I was like, oh, they got Sarah on here.
They got Sarah.
I remember there being whispers about him, like, because she left the band, right? She left, like, did she leave like right after they had made the band or something like that? Or
I believe she was on that season where they were all living in the house together, and then I think she left before they officially broke up, I believe.
Right, something like that. But I forgot that I heard whispers about that until she said it. I was like shook as they showed us the clip of Go Get Me Cheesecake from Brooklyn, because that's resurfaced from a different process since Diddy. I mean, let's be real. Okay, here.
Speak on it, Mark.
As reality TV connoisseurs who watch the trashiest of trash in the mid 2010s on MTV and VH1 reality.
Yeah.
When he made them walk for the cheesecake, we all laughed.
It was iconic. I didn't think it was funny. I thought like, you better get out there and win this challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't you let this stop your dream. You know, Sarah even said it like, I'm not gonna quit. I fought too hard for this. I'm like, yeah, it was like the music made you. First of all, I'm not from New York. So when they say across the bridge, I'm like, oh, across the bridge. It's a long bridge, but it's right there. Nah, 8 hours is nuts, AJ.
Like, I've never done anything for 8 hours straight. Like, what are you talking about?
I can't get 8 hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
8 hours is crazy.
And y'all out here in the New York cold trying to get a freaking slice of cheesecake for this man. Like, I know I would have ate it up back in the day, but I'm a better person now.
Right. But it's a hazing ritual. It really is. It's like, go do this thing, show me how bad you want it, but it also asserts his dominance. Like, if I can make you walk 8 hours for cheesecake, imagine all the rest of the stuff I can make you do. Right. So, again, great TV, iconic television. And again, we've got the score behind it, the music, making it sound like they're all bonding over this moment. This was going to make them so great, this, that, and other. You would think the band went on and had a long, lucrative career after this, right? The band lasted 2 years. This ain't enough. Then for 2 years, they had one album. They did all of this for one album. I was like, oh, nah, this man is a criminal. He's a criminal. Ain't no way.
I just want to say, I once walked from Midtown Manhattan to Kat's Deli near Houston Street by accident, because one of my best friends read a map wrong.
Okay.
And it took us 2 hours.
Oh,
so like, I wanted to die. Yeah.
The 8 across the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm sorry. I just had to put that anecdote in there, because we actually did.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
It was crazy. We had it was great company though, because we just cackled and cracked up, and
did you get some cheesecake?
We didn't get cheesecake. We got corned beef sandwiches.
Okay.
Oh, okay, fair
enough. Get some cheesecake. It's not worth the trip.
you might have had good company, but never again will I get directions from her. On full stop.
Yeah. Like, give me the map. Give me the map. Give me your phone.
Brittany, she looked at the Google and she looked at the car thing that said, "Oh, she said it'll take us 15 minutes." And we're like, "Okay, cool." And then we're walking. I'm like, "Girl, it's 15 minutes." And then we look and it's like, "Oh, if you hit the little man, it says 2 hours."
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man.
So
yeah. Don't take the keys, take the map. It's okay. We're not gonna let her lead us nowhere else.
Exactly.
I guess the last thing we do have to talk about in this documentary, we gotta talk about Cassie. We got to. Yeah. So Cassie and Diddy link up around the same time. I mean, he's still doing his off and on thing with Kim, and it becomes very clear to anybody who's paying attention to Diddy at all that there's something more going on between the two of them, and it leads to a long relationship and apparently a very violent relationship. Cassie ends up going and alleging that Diddy had assaulted her and done like she blows the top off of the freak offs, right? She's the one who goes in and talks about the sex trafficking. She talks about the underage kids. She talks about the abuse. She talks about the baby. Like Cassie opens up the floodgates. And at first, of course, people suck. So they were like, I don't know if I believe her. She must be wanting money. What is the reason? And then we get the footage. We get the CNN footage of Diddy doing a heinous thing to Cassie, like basically beating her ass in front of an elevator in a hotel, just right there, wrapped in a towel, I believe, just like came out of his room just to go beat her ass while she was trying to escape. And I think at that point, it just silences so many people who were naysayers, who were saying, oh, well, maybe she's lying, maybe this, that, and other. But Mari, there were still people in this documentary who were like, but why did he do it? You know what I'm saying? What was the reason? What did she do?
Freaking Ron Lawrence, stupid butt. He's like, I had to make sure that was him. What? And then he said, then it made me think like, why was she mad at him?
Man,
why was he mad at her?
What did she do to make you so mad? You're not supposed to laugh at that, AJ. Damn.
No. But the producer was like, does it matter?
Like, true.
Right. He was like, nah, I guess not. I don't think it matters.
He didn't say nah. It was a long pause. He's like, I got to think about what's the right answer here.
He was like, what could make me do something like that? I guess nah, I don't know. No, I don't think it matters.
But then we also find out that before this video comes out, Diddy all of a sudden starts trying to sell the publishing rights back to his artist. And it's like, it's not because he has a change of heart. It's because he's like, hey, you want your publishing rights back? Okay, we'll also sign this NDA and never talk about anything that you might have seen or heard or anything that may have happened to you if you want your publishing rights back.
Yeah.
How evil is that?
They talk about how that was one of the moments where people could tell the castle was about to crumble, the house of cards was about to fall. I remember that day because I was on Twitter and I saw that and I said, I know it. It's happening. It's happening, y'all. Because the way Mace has been telling us that this man has been robbing him for years, Mace has been telling us, begging. I remember when Mace was broke and he was like, Diddy, I just need my rights. I will be fine. I don't even need no money. Just give me my publish. And this man would not do it. And this is Mace. This was his right-hand man. For they were like a tag team. Bruh, Mace literally went and became a pastor to get away from him. Okay, went and joined the church. Now he's not in the church no more. I mean, he might still go to church, but he's not a pastor no more. But regardless, he came back and he still didn't have his rights. And I was like, no, this is the proof because Diddy is so greedy. He would never just start giving stuff back. And then that's when the NDA conversation starts happening. And AJ, the man is paying, like he said, somebody said like he gave somebody like $500 and made them sign the NDA. This is crazy.
300. Well, I would like, they're like, get out of here. Like, let me tell you something. First, I don't like NDA agreements. They're all bad. They're all gross. Like it's a red flag to me. Any NDA agreement is a big red flag. But like, I think this was a long time coming. Like, full stop. It took too many people to be hurt, him to gain too much money, too much power, too much influence for this at this point. And the fact that like it was like a little bit after the video of Cassie and her coming out with it, it was like, why is it like now that we're like ready to turn? Like, why can't we like, believe people when they say, hey, I've been harmed. Hey, this is the person who's harmed me. Like, let me tell you something. I don't want to see a naked man run down the hotel hallway, throw a woman down to the ground and kick her for me to be like, okay, something got to be done. Like, we should not be getting to this point where it's like, and even then you still have the naysayers. You still have the people that are questioning. And it makes absolutely zero sense to me. But that's the industry, I guess. It needs to change for the better.
Yeah, I mean, Diddy is the industry, and I think that's another reason why it's such a big issue is because like he is the most powerful man in hip hop, or at least he was, right? Like he was the most powerful. Like they said one of the most photographed black men in history. It wasn't enough for him to just be a rapper. He needed to be flashy. He needed to have the money. He needed to have the power. He needed to have the respect. All those things. But again, you want to talk about people who are just falling away at the wayside around Diddy? There's a slew of them. There's a whole just a laundry list of names. I mean, Lil Kim went to jail behind Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like we could make a list of all the people who've fallen.
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't think was it behind Diddy. I did not know that. I know she wouldn't purge, but purge herself.
She purged.
She did purge. She did purge. Sorry, she did purge.
Yeah, Lil Kim perjured herself, and people say that stuff
snitch.
Exactly. And so yeah, there's been a lot. Remember when J-Lo got tied up in it? You know what I'm saying? When he was like, "Oh,
J-Lo don't remember when she got that." J-Lo said, "Deuces." And they didn't even talk about J-Lo.
No. They show her for 1 second, I believe. When they were like showing them. Yeah. And they did that with a lot of people. I think they did, like, they kept showing clips of like past artists, but they really didn't say their names. They just kind of showed you like, here are the faces of the people who were in this kind of stuff. And so, it's tough because you start to question, okay, what is it that they're afraid of? Maybe they do believe the victims and they just don't want to say anything because they don't want the backlash. And then we see that in the case of Kim, if I'll be sure is telling the truth, which I think he is, she told him, swear on your child that you won't say anything. So at some point you got to honor the victims or you got to out this man who is a menace. And I think a lot of them have been struggling with all this. There's so many layers to this, Mari, that it's really hard to pin anything down on this guy.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is like Kim told Albie not to say anything because she didn't want anything happening to him or whatnot. And then it's like, because what we did get in here was them talking about, did he do something to Biggie? Like, was Diddy behind Biggie's murder? Which I'm like, okay, yes, let's sit here and speculate about that. But y'all don't even talk about how, like, we know he did the Tupac murder. Allegedly.
Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
allegedly.
Ain't nobody pinned him down to nothing. It's kind of, they didn't talk about it, but they talked about Biggie because, of course, Gene Deal was right there when it happened, and he's like, they asked him point blank, AJ. They said, "Do you think Diddy had something to do with this?" And he was kind of like, "Well, I think they asked him, was Diddy responsible?" And I think he kind of said like indirectly, just for having Biggie in that atmosphere. And so even that kind of felt like a little fishy to me.
Right. I would say the one moment I laughed, and it was funny. And I think it was Al. He was like, "Oh yeah, and Diddy killed him." Am I supposed to say allegedly?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'll be sure is clearly in litigation right now. Like he's got some stuff tied up right now.
Yeah.
And so
right
halfway through the documentary, he about to say, because let me tell you something. He stopped. He's like, I don't know if I can say that. I don't think I can say that. And he was like, it's like his lawyer was like in his ear, like, "Sir, you cannot say that." He's like, "Okay, well, due to the legal proceedings, I am not at liberty to discuss those matters right now, as they could be detrimental to my case, and I will not be speaking about them anymore." And I was like, okay. And then by the end, he's like, "He did it. He murdered her." Oh, I'm sorry, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So, he want to blow the lid off of this so bad. I know he does. They compare Diddy to Epstein, Mari.
They did. I mean, there are parallels, if it's to be believed. Like Jeff Epstein had Ghislaine Maxwell. He has his chief of staff, KK, allegedly Christina. I forget how you say her last name. So the parallel to me, it's like two rich men having like sex parties that involved underage girls. But I don't know if you can really compare it to the Jeffrey Epstein of it all, because I feel like Jeffrey Epstein was more of like a facilitator, and like
Mm-hmm.
and and Diddy's a trafficker as well, but I feel like this was for Diddy's pleasure, if that makes sense. Like for Epstein, I'm not gonna lie, I did not go into a lot of that because that is just extremely troubling stuff. But it felt like Epstein was really like really getting like political people and celebrities and making the connections and stuff like that. But they said that he wanted, I guess they said he wanted 3 girls a day. I don't know. I see the similarities. Like I get it. But I also think like these are 2 men who are monsters who did horrendous things, and you don't really need to compare them in order for the acts to seem more heinous. It's like these are just heinous acts. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you try and tie him to Jeffrey Epstein of it all, then you have then we get the conspiracy that comes with the whole Jeffrey Epstein and the mystery surrounding his death and all of that. And Diddy's in jail and he's perfectly fine right now. So it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I like it. Why are we comparing the two? You know,
I agree somewhat, but I think what it highlighted for me was how scary it was, because these things were happening at the same time. There was so much damage happening at the same time. Like it's like, where do you escape from? If you escape, you got to escape from public life, full stop. And like a lot of these people, that's not what they want to do. But it's such a dangerous place to traverse, especially like these women that like have the idea of wanting to be famous or something like that. So if they link up with them just to get sex trafficked, it's very gross and disgusting, like how the industry work with these powerful people at the top. And also like, it's not just these powerful people, like they got these subordinates that are just okay with it. They're just going along with it. They're enabling this terrible behavior and not being like a whistleblower or exposing what's happening. So it's like a very layered thing where I'm like, this time period is like scary. And I think highlighting both of them at the same time is like, we need to change this culture. We can move forward from this and put people in a safer position. Will that happen? That's a question mark. But like, I am optimist at heart, so I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's all the stuff we saw for the most part, but I do want to get into it. So Mari brought up a good point. She's like, was Lil Kim tied to Diddy when she perjured herself? I actually don't think it was a Diddy thing, but I have assembled a list of artists who have their careers ended mysteriously, who could be linked to Diddy. And I would like to know if y'all have heard of these artists and if y'all find it suspicious. Okay. So I'm just gonna rattle off some lists and reasons. Okay. This is all
allegedly.
I don't know if Diddy did it. I'm gonna just throw out some names and some situations.
Diddy do it.
They're gonna call this segment Diddy Do It. Okay. All right. So first and foremost, we've already talked about him a little bit. Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G., cause of death, murdered in a drive-by shooting in L.A. in 1997. Connection to Diddy, signed to Bad Boy Records, P. Diddy's label, and a central figure in the East Coast hip-hop scene and one of Diddy's homeboys. Mari, smoke?
Smoke. I mean, like Gene said, everything leading up to that, Diddy kind of helped, even if he didn't pull the trigger. Like the facilitating, the blowing the fire on the whole East Coast versus West Coast thing didn't help. It put them all in jeopardy. And then if he really did allegedly put a hit out on Tupac's head, which some people that guy admitted it this year, right? Didn't he just admit it last year?
But I don't know if he ever got charged or anything. Like I know he said he did it, but I don't know if he said he did it.
But people are saying that they did it because they wanted that money. I mean, he might not have pulled the trigger, but he made that environment real tense.
Yeah. Biggie said he was going to London, and Diddy kept saying, "No, he's not." And everyone's like, "Why is that?" do you mean by that? You know, so I think that's the smoke there. Craig Mack and Black Rob both died from natural causes. Let's see. Cause of death for Craig Mack, heart failure in 2018. He's known for his hit Flavor in Your Ear. He was one of the first artists signed to Bad Boy Records. Black Rob, cause of death, kidney failure in 2021, signed to Bad Boy Records for his hits and is known for his hit single Whoa. You know, like Whoa. You know, that one. I don't know. I don't know the age of Craig Mack. And let me think. Craig Mack, age of death.
But two men in their what? 50s dying of heart attack.
Craig Mack died at 47 years old in 2018. And Black Rob died in 2021.
52.
Yeah, at 52. So yeah, so you know, some deaths there.
No smoke.
Yeah, Kim Porter, cause of death, pneumonia in 2018. While not a music artist, she was a long romantic partner of Diddy and the mother of 3 kids, and her death shocked many.
I still can't believe when you said 2018. I could have sworn she just died like the other day. When you said 2018, I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, 7 years ago.
Well, you know, COVID happened, and that's 3 years. You know, that's a whole
5. Chappell, it's 5.
No, I meant COVID. The year 2019, 2020 was 3 years. You know, and then we had 21, 22, 22. So it feels like it feels like that was forever. But no. Oh well, and Andre Harrell as well, heart failure in 2020. Founder of Uptown Records, where P. Diddy got his start. Although not a direct artist, Harrell's death affected Bad Boy legacy. Well, I'm glad you mentioned COVID because Chucky Thompson, COVID-19 complications in 2021, a member of Bad Boy's Hitman production team, played a significant role in crafting his artists like Notorious B.I.G. and Faith Evans, and Heavy D, pulmonary embolism in 2011. Also, not a Bad Boy artist, but influential in Diddy's career as well. So those deaths, those just Black folks.
Yeah, Heavy D, pulmonary embolism.
Yeah. AJ, what you think?
Let me tell you something. There's 2 different AJs right now. Council Norris, there's no smoke here.
Okay.
But AJ on a podcast about the making of a Bad Boy. Seems suspicious.
Okay.
Suspicious.
Okay. All right. Let me keep going. So, artists with career challenges or struggles. Okay. Loon, best known for "I Need a Girl" Part 1. He converted to Islam, left the music industry, and later served time in prison for drug charges.
Yeah, there's a lot of people converting religions and leaving. Like Shine did that too.
Shine did it, and so did Mace.
Let me tell you something. I used to go on those YouTube rabbit holes, Illuminati stuff. Being like, to get out the Illuminati, they got to convert to Islam.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to do a switch up.
Mari, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Go down that rabbit hole. Well, pause. Protect your peace. Don't go down that rabbit hole.
To be fair, Shine is now the ambassador, the goodwill ambassador to Belize, I believe. So
Belize,
he's actually,
I was like, what country did he go to? So we saw him. Okay.
Yeah. He served 10 years in prison for a nightclub shooting in 1999, and his legal troubles arose during Diddy's involvement in the same incident. And so, Shine has gone on record to say he will never speak to Diddy again, and he hates that man. So there's that. We have G-Dep from Special Delivery, okay? And he confessed to a 1993 murder in 2010 and is serving a prison sentence right now. Let's see, who else? Danny DeCane, career struggles. Group disbanded multiple times due to internal conflict and issues with Bad Boy management. Signed to Bad Boy Records, formed on the reality show Making the Band. Speaking of, Day 26 struggled with management and label issues after formation of Making the Band. Signed to Bad Boys Records.
Pass away?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
You sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sure? Maybe. Yeah. 26 artists. I just put it in Google. I don't think none of them have died. If they have, rest in peace. I don't think anyone has died.
Rest in power, King.
Yeah, rest in power, King. Or also like hold strong, King. More artists with career struggles. Total. Remember Total, Mari?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 702.
Always. I always get the I know them though. We know
We know
all
Total.
know Total.
Yeah. Can't you see
There it is.
what you do to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had hits. However, after experiencing moderate success with Can't You See, the group faded from the limelight and faced issues with label support. Signed to Bad Boy Records as one of the first acts. Also, Faith Evans, we know her. Although she remains a successful artist, her career was deeply impacted by personal losses, including the death of her husband, Notorious B.I.G. She was a key Bad Boy artist known as the First Lady of Bad Boy. Mason Bethel. Mace abruptly retired at the height of his career to pursue ministry. Later, returning to music with mixed success, he has publicly voiced grievances again about his contract with Diddy and Bad Boy, a cornerstone artist of Bad Boy in the late 1990s, known for hits like Feel So Good. Carl Thomas with the turtleneck sweater, Mari. Signed to Bad Boy Records after achieving success with his debut album, Emotional. His career stagnated due to changing label priorities and evolving music industry. 112, Mari.
I love 112.
Yeah, but Diddy didn't. The R&B group faced internal disputes, management issues, and label challenges after their success in the late 1900s and 2000s. Signed to Bad Boy Records and contributed to the label's R&B dominance.
I'm being above with you. We need more R&B groups.
Yeah, well, but don't sign with Bad Boy because we've lost a lot of them to Bad Boy. Aubrey O'Day, as a member of Danity Kane, experienced the disputes with Diddy publicly, internal group conflicts leading her to departure and struggles to sustain her career, proud of making the band. Mark Curry released a tell-all book, Dancing with the Devil, criticizing Diddy and detailing the alleged exploitation of Bad Boy artists, a former Bad Boy artist known for collaborations like Bad Boy for Life, We Ain't Going Nowhere, okay. Sherry Dennis. Do you remember Sherry Dennis?
That sounds so familiar.
Hold you tonight. I think she did the theme song to Making the Band. Released one album, but her career never gained significant traction, reportedly due to lack of label support. The band formed on Making the Band. The group faced internal conflicts and was disbanded by Diddy after just one album, signed to Bad Boy Records during their brief career. AJ.
And me.
Was it Smoke?
Too many people, man.
Smoke?
AJ don't know half them people.
Here's the
I know, but I listed them. I gave the dossier.
You did give a long ass dossier.
I gave a long dossier. I haven't even got to Don Richards.
And like, did Diddy have a hand in some of this? Yes, but most of this sounds to me like musical politics that they did not play right.
Really bad musical politics, though. Like,
yes, it's really bad. But like,
that's worse than a 360.
Yeah,
that is like a soul deal with the devil type contract.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't talk about Eve. I didn't talk about Dream. I didn't talk about Mario Winans. Remember, Mario Winans decided to make Eve, EVE, the Eve of Destruction. For a little stint. Well, she went to Rough Riders after Bad Boy, actually.
Good for her. Good for her.
She got out. The Locks, Jadakiss, Styles P's, 8 Ball and MJG, Red Cafe, Janelle Monáe.
Red Cafe. Janelle Monáe, he tried to keep my girl down.
He tried to hold my girl down. Listen, she made it out, okay? She made it out. I'm just saying, the long list of consistent artists who have had disagreements or public disputes or label differences or died or switched religions, and they all just right outside that Diddy bubble. And so y'all can take with that for whatever y'all want to take it for, because it's all allegedly. But thank y'all for listening to Diddy, the making of a Bad Boy. AJ, I'm so happy we had you back, but I didn't know if we needed you back for this, but this was so much fun.
No, despite how heavy the documentary was, like, let me tell you something. Nothing makes me happier than talking it with y'all two. Like, y'all two are, again, y'all two are some of the GOATs for a reason. Like, full stop.
AJ, this is why I have you around, because you say nice things. Mari, overall, you got to give us your magnifying glass rating here for your true crime documentary. How many magnifying glasses out of 5?
I'm gonna give it a 3 because it was like entertaining in a way. You know, like if you want the tea, the juicy gossip, it's kind of like that, but like also not. And it was like the city college stuff, like that was really interesting to find out. It wasn't too salacious to me. Hearing Ashley the victim talk, hearing the civil
Don's lawyer, the other civil rights lawyer,
Ariel Michelle, the civil attorney, who she's like, I've been
coming for this nigga for years. I've been throwing bricks at your marching ass for years. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I thought all of the talking heads were relevant. Now, did they give conflicting information? Were they there for conflicting points of view? Yes, like it was really weird, but I found it interesting. I did. I found it interesting, you know, and I mean, I'm gonna watch the 50 Cent one because I want to see like what documentary, again, some pure hateration goes into that one, but like, I mean, for it to be the first Diddy doc out, not too bad. So I'll give it a 3 magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, at times it's like, I'm this ain't great. But then I'll get to like the personal stories, like from Ashley, like you said, from I'll Be Sure. And I'm like, oh yes, this is getting me. This Sarah. Is yes. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, this is why I came to see it.
Yeah.
Like the personal stories and like how they were actually impacted by this man. I was like, okay, this
Gene
is the
was
good.
pretty good too.
Yeah, Gene was good.
Gene was hilarious.
Yeah, he was good. I loved that man quit his job because he was tired of Diddy Mama telling him to go get stuff out the car. And he's like, you know what? Honestly, I'm sick of this.
They really spend so much time on that too. I was like, oh,
this the same woman. He was like, don't cuss at your mama, and she was like, oh, could you go get some out the car? He's like, you know what? I'm over this. I'm out. I'm gonna go. So my issue with this is that because it's done so soon, there is actually very little like substantiated evidence that we've seen, right? Like everything is always like, as of right now, nothing has been found. As of right now, he's not guilty of this. As of right now, there's no evidence that says, it's like,
his lawyer says this.
Yeah, his lawyer says this, his lawyer says that. It's like, let the case play out. Let's see what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know what the timeline is looking like on that, but we'll definitely be back to talk about it again. And now that we have legal counsel, I'll feel a lot better about that happening. AJ, thank you so much. Tell everybody where they could find you, what you're working on, and all that good stuff.
You can. I'm becoming a lawyer. Like, so.
Yes.
So right. But I will say, my favorite line was one of the last lines, and I think it was the doctor. The sexual trafficking woman said, what'd she say? She said something like, regardless of your trauma that you have as a child, we have to hold you accountable. So,
yeah, that's the moral of the story. All right. All right, you cannot follow AJ, but you can follow Mari. Mari, what are you working on?
Well, you can follow me over on Blue Sky. I'm not on the other place. At Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2, like the number 2. You can, again, if you like this, if you like true crime, you can catch me over on the Crime Scene podcast. Me and Sarah Carradine, Chappell and Matt were just on there with us as well.
I just don't know why Matt had to be there, but okay.
We were talking about Girls Gone Wild, the Untold Story, another docuseries that was on Peacock, I believe. We had so much fun talking about it. It's a banger of an episode. Go to crimescenepod.com. That's crime, SEEN pod.com to subscribe, or just type in Crime Scene wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you subscribe. That's very important. If you want to get your episodes on Tuesdays, make sure you subscribe. I was over with Jason and Asia talking Married at First Sight. Woo, this season is ridiculous. Over on the Love at First Sight feed, so just go to WeKnowRealityTV.com/Love at First Sight.
No, sure. Sure. Sure.
Perfect Match Podcast. Check out the Perfect Match Podcast. Just type that in. But that's it. How about you, Chappell?
All right. Well, as y'all already know, here on Recap Kickback, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We got How to Ruin Christmas. The funeral should be posted already, so you should be able to check that out. It's me and Gia talking about a South African Netflix series. It is so good. It's so funny. And we posted the YouTube video. We want everybody to go watch it, check it out. And then even go watch the show if you want to. But it's messy enough. Go check it out. Some good entertainment over there. The Madness with me and Tyrone should be up on recapkickback.com as well. And then, of course, Abbott Elementary coverage every other week with me and Gia. Mari and I will be back week with another week of Black entertainment news and a new Black or something to talk about. Who knows? But elsewhere, you can catch me talking like on and special guest appearances here and there. But I guessed it with the Lonely Boys podcast recently to talk about Gossip Girl, the reboot. I've never seen it. I only watched one episode and it was crazy. Season 1, episode 9 was nuts. And Brendan and Matt Gagan over there, they do a great job of talking about the most ridiculous show of all time, Gossip Girl, and the reboot, Gossip Girl again. And so check that out. And then make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback. Don't follow AJ. Follow Mari at Mari Talks Too Much. And then tune in next week when we get you more Recap Kickback content just for the Recap Kickback listeners. And remember, our 1-year anniversary is coming up. And y'all got to tell us what y'all want us to talk about. February is coming up. It's Black History Month. We need some suggestions here on Recap Kickback, okay?
I have a suggestion.
Yes, I have a suggestion too. AJ, go first.
Go for
So
it.
remember how y'all started off with your list?
Yes.
Yes.
I think you should each week go over the number one of your list of the comedy, the dramedy. Yeah.
You like watch it and
watch it and talk about it.
And talk about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Was Love and Basketball number one?
I think it might have been, and that'll be fun. We can bring in Asia for that. That'll be a blast. Yeah, I like that idea. We got other stuff coming. Mark, what was your idea?
So I got somebody suggested to me we should play like Black games on here every week.
Spades, Smarty?
Mari gonna learn spades?
Can y'all stop? Maybe, but that would be like
we the problem. We don't
know how to play spades. Like, what are we doing?
That would be like the final episode of Black History Month. But like the card game, I don't know if you know Terrell Grice's game. I Know You Fucking Lying. Have y'all seen that?
Oh no.
That sounds fun. It's so fun. He does it on YouTube, but it's cards. It'll say how many Beyonce songs can you name, and you go around. And I'll say I can name one, and then AJ says I can name two.
Okay.
Well, no, you got to go one. You got to
go. No, let's play it right now. Go.
Okay.
How many Beyonce songs can you name, Mari? I can name one.
Oh, I can name two.
I can name 3.
I can name 4.
I can name 5.
I can name 6.
I know you fucking lied. That's when I would hit the buzzer. Hit the buzzer. So now AJ has 30 seconds.
I got a timer. Go.
To name 6 Beyonce songs.
Okay.
I got a timer.
My House, Yaya, Sandcastles, Lemonade, not Lemonade, Formation, Single Ladies, Diva.
All right, he did it.
So and in that one, so you would drink. So I would drink because for him it's I would drink because I got it wrong, and he would get a point. And but if he couldn't do it, then he would drink. And Terrell started doing it where you can either drink alcohol or you can take a shot of hot sauce because people were like getting
Bring me the liquor. Bring me the liquor.
I play for real. Like,
so we can do. So that I Know You Fucking Lying or culture tags. You know the Do you have culture tags?
I do not have culture tags, but I do have a game. So B and Camille AF came on the podcast and talked to me and AJ one time. That was a great time. And she suggested, and so I will bring her back for this. It's her idea. She suggested that we play Lyrically Correct. And so the game is I will ask you a question based on some song lyrics, and whoever gets the answer right, or in the time allowed it with my little timer here, gets a point. Mari, why does Fantasia say her man doesn't pay her any mind? Timer has started.
Oh no!
Yeah,
my protein put the spotlight on Mari.
Yeah, and I ain't giving you that much time because we only have this audio podcast. Okay, you only got a few minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. What is it?
He acts like he doesn't love me anymore. I believe that is You know that you don't love me no more. What song is that?
No, I
That's
don't know.
not.
Oh, if you don't love me, you don't talk to me.
Yeah. Go ahead and free yourself.
Okay,
There you go. So
there you
that's
go.
lyrically correct. Idea from being Camille. Okay, we got
Okay,
several
I don't
games
know.
already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over here on my bookshelf, behind my dog, it's Ox God. It's Ox God. And what that is I don't want to get up because I don't want y'all to see my pants. But I am wearing them at least.
Sure.
Good to know.
But basically, like, say I would draw a card and I would say an R&B song from the 1990s, even. And then you two would pull up a song and that fits that category, play it, and then I pick which one I like the most. Like I pick who gets the point on that.
I don't know if you play music on the stream though. That's the problem.
I know that is the problem.
Down. So that's a tough one. They might shut me down for all my great singing 2 seconds ago with Fantasia. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if they let us make it, then I think that one we're gonna have to put a hold on for sure. But looks like
I say when Patreon comes out.
Yeah, maybe that's behind the scenes, so that way we can do it and YouTube won't ever know. So something to think about for sure. But Recap Kickback game night. Let us know if you like that idea. Put it in the comments. Make sure you join the Facebook group, facebook.com/Recap Kickback or recapkickback.com/Facebook. I'm sure that'll get you there. Join the Facebook group. Email us, recapkickback@gmail.com to let us know what you think. You can hit us up on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback as well to let us know. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/@Recap Kickback. Make sure you go subscribe so we get these views because we're creeping up on a year. And I need to be able to show Rob we did a good job, y'all. It's been a year. So make sure y'all support the podcast and check us all out next time. We will be back next week. You ain't got to go home, but you definitely got to get the hell up out of here. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
I've been trapped behind Tall Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreamers. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.